Hello everyone. Good morning again. Another day. Let's face the day with a new beginning once again. Okay, let's go to part 3 of our English episodes. This time we check the line with bishop b4 against the c4 g3 structure. Okay, the main game that we're showing today is this game by Carlsen against Caruana in 2020. Let's check it out. Let's go straight. So c4, e5, reverse Sicilian of course, knight c3, knight f6, g3, and now bishop b4. Okay, this is going to be examined today, the bishop b4 line. Okay, instead of bishop g2, we play e4 straight. Now this is what we call the bishop b4 in the Sicilian. If we're playing the black side, e4, then c5, knight f3, knight c6, we have bishop into b5, and then g6, something like that. That's what we call the Rossolimo. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Let's say e4, c5, and we have, let's say, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to b5, and then g6. Okay, this is the line that we are trying to cover. The bishop in b5 or the bishop in b4. Let's go back. So g3, bishop into b4, e4 straight away. In the Rossolimo, okay, if we take a look at bishop b5, let's say g6, for example, if castles, we can also go for e5 if you want. Yeah. Although the problem, again, if you're playing that, this is the black side. Because of that castle, white can take that pawn. In comparison, if we're playing the white side, c4, e5, bishop b4, e4, opponent takes, knight takes e4, right? We go queen e2 because it's not castled yet. Knight c5, we can take the pawn because there's no rook e8. There's no rook e8 to pin our queen and king. Because again, black is not castled. If the knight goes back to e6, okay, we can go bishop g2, opponent castles, for example. We can go knight f3, rook goes to e8, and we simply castle. There's no better square for the knight. Okay, let's say knight f8. Okay, we can go queen b5, c6, and queen b1. Yeah, back to the ball game. Yeah. If opponent plays d6, for example, we just go maybe d4 here. Yeah. Knight g5 is a threat later on. Okay, well, there's a knight on f8. Knight b d7, and we can go expand on the queen side, a4, a5. Yes. This bishop can go a3, attacking that pawn. On d6. Yeah. And white should be, of course, white is much better. Okay, doubled pawn, but I like my chances when I have the bishop here. That's just what I feel when I have the bishop here in an open position. Okay, and another thing here, if the opponent tries to exchange queen with queen into e7, simply take the queen. The knight goes to h3, knight f4, knight e5. d4 first. We don't worry about the c3 pawn because we're trying to trap that knight with bishop to b2, knight d5, or f3, and potentially in the endgame bishop d3, h4, h5, h6. That pawn in h7 will fall. We can push this pawn in d5, put that bishop in b2. Yes, let's say you can start with a5 first, space, and then if knight c6, or probably bishop f5 trying to stop our, but if he stops this g4, if bishop g6, we have bishop h6 threatening bishop to g7. It's still very bad. If rook e8, we'll just go king f2. If knight goes to d7 to protect f6, we have h4. Where is this bishop going? Okay, if he plays here, rook a2, bishop into b3, for example, rook to a3, Back to c2, rook c3, bishop into a4. Okay, bishop d3, attacking the pawn. And then rook here, and then d5. Oh, too much, yeah. All right, let's go back to the line. Yes, takes on c3. So it's not possible for black to take on e4. Just castles, and we have f3. I like this move by Magnus with f3 compared to the theoretical bishop g2 move. Okay, with bishop g2, okay, black would probably go c6, and we play knight f3, d5 takes, and e takes d5, knight takes d5, castles. It's fine. And then black plays knight c6 here, rook e1, rook e8, d4. But I find it a bit boring compared to the dynamic f3. Yeah, I like the dynamism with f3. Caruana in this game went for b5. Okay, that's makes it more interesting. d4, that was the main point of keeping the bishop on f1. We keep an eye on the c4 pawn, and then we centralize the pawn on d4. Takes, e5 first, a nice intermezzo. Takes on c4, knight h3, of course. There is knight on f2 if the opponent plays h6, but if not, then we can go knight g5 with queen d3 here. d6, castles. In the game, Magnus played rook e1, but again, here, before castling, Magnus could insert queen to d3, by the way. Threatening knight g5. If the opponent plays h6, there's rook b1 first. Tempo. Bishop c6. Then we castle. Take on e5, take on e5. Look at the bishops. Bishop to b3. I like white's chances here. Bishop c2 is coming, yeah? Look at the bishops. Look at the bishops. And this way as well. Like these missiles here. All right. Castles. Takes e5, takes e5, knight b6, bishop to b3, queen e7, and Magnus will punish you once you make a mistake. And the punishing move here is the move e6. Whoops. If black played something else, let's say c5 here, I still like white's chances with bishop a3, rook c1 with the pin. Yeah. So with queen e7, the punisher, Magnus doesn't miss a bit, yeah. Take, whoops, knight g5 comes into play, queen is coming, or maybe queen c2 coming up, h7, h7 is weak, e6 is weak, queen c2 coming up to help. Look at queen on c2. Rook g6 is a sign of surrender, yeah. Now we have rook takes e6, a brilliant move. You cannot capture with the rook because you're going to be checkmated with takes on h7 and queen h8 mate. But then again, what to do? If let's say g6, how do you stop this move bishop to b2? If you move your rook, for example, or if you play c5, for example, takes knight e4, queen d4 check, this queen f2, exchange up, yes, exchange up. And if you put your rook on f5, for example, and then just takes on e6, look at the bishops, rook, okay, the activity from white, the dangerous king on g8, too much. So the e6 was the winning move. And if you play, okay, let's say you play f6 to stop the threat with knight g5. Okay, Magnus can expand here with a4 first, a4, a5 for fours. We put a knight in f4, exchange it. Yeah. If the rook, for example, goes to d8, we put that bishop on e3. Yes, okay, let's say c5. Okay, knight takes d5, and knight takes on d5. We play the move queen c2, attacking this way. Knight b4, takes on b4, takes on b4, rook a d1. And how do you stop this pawn? Yeah. King probably would go, because this is not possible to play bishop takes f3, we have rook d7, wins on the spot. Maybe king has to go to h8. And we can play king f2 to protect the pawn. Rook into c8. Put that queen on f5. It threatens rook to d7. It's winning anyway. Yeah, I like that knight. Sorry, that f3 move by Magnus. Yeah, it's more dynamic. I like dynamic chess. Okay, for me, bishop g2 was a bit dry in this position. Yeah, if you play the move bishop g2, it's a bit dry. Okay, and okay, after f3, for example, let's take a look at let's rook e8. Another line could be rook e8, which is normal. Then we can go knight into h3, c6, knight into f2, takes, and we just go. Now is the time to go bishop g2, castles. If bishop a6, we have rook e1, we take on d5. If queen takes d5, we go f4. d3 takes, we take the bishop, exchange. Bishop d2, don't go for rook takes e8. This is wrong. This is a mistake. It is a mistake because rook takes e8. If you take bishop takes c3, for example, there's rook e1 and king f2 and then d2 with a pin on the rook. So sense of danger. We just keep our bishop with bishop to d2, rook into c8, rook e8. We go rook to d1, put the bishop on e1. If rook, we'll go back, exchange. All right, bishop pair in the endgame should be better. Yeah. If let's say pawn goes to h5, for example, we can play f5, h3, g4, and we can also target that one king f4, king to g5. Two bishops against two knights in an open endgame. No question, the bishop is better. The bishops are better. But then again, my favorite part here, my favorite part Magnus played was the move f3. It brings dynamics, a dynamic game. And also my character is more into it, fighting. There's fire on board. So that was it. Okay, that was our presentation for today. What to play against this bishop b4 line. In our next episode, we might get into c4 e6 or again c4 c6. We'll examine all of this in the next episodes to come. Thank you for watching. This is Coach Oliver once again. Have a good day, everyone, and bye-bye.